Hey everyone, my name is Ben and today I've got a really cool drawing for you guys. I'm going to be doing a drawing using ink pens and alcohol markers about a comic that I've been working on called Neutro. Here's some of the ink drawings I've done of the characters. That's Neutro, the main character. And as you can see, I'm pointing out the various characters. If you guys want to see these ink drawings in better detail, you can find them at my website at thescratchofapen.weebly.com. Here I'm just pointing out the various characters in their street clothes compared to in their superhero outfits. And you can also see the villain, I guess you could say, which isn't a person, it's a compound, kind of like the parasites in Venom, except it can give the people it possesses all sorts of different powers, but they can also be cured from it and be left with their powers, and that's kind of how all of these characters got their abilities. And so it's a really cool dynamic of these characters going around trying to save people from the thing that gave them their powers. Here are also some sheets that kind of give you the main idea of the story, and I'm going to use them in kind of a mini comic for the series that I might make as kind of an introduction to people. Alright, so the original idea for this comic came a while back. I actually was reading a book back in, I think it was actually in middle school. It's called Quantum Prophecy by Michael Carroll. And basically it's just a book about superheroes. It's kind of a cool idea. Basically there used to be a bunch of superheroes. For some reason, 10 years before the book happened, they all just lost their powers. And now their children are appearing with superheroes, and it's kind of about them. It's a cool book, but I just, at the time, I would like to write a lot of books, and so I just thought, well, wait, maybe I'll make my own superheroes. And I never ended up writing about it, but I had kind of this idea about, a superhero that didn't actually have superpowers, but instead he just had, like, gadgets and, like, basically a robot suit, kind of like Iron Man sort of thing. But I also thought, well, why would he become a superhero if there were people with superpowers? And so that's kind of where I got the idea for this, that he had the ability to neutralize superpowers. And I thought that was a really cool idea, and I kind of ran with it. And so that's the main character, Alex. He doesn't have any superpowers like the rest of them, so he has to rely on gadgets. But he does have the ability to neutralize other people's powers. And so he's kind of like the backbone of the whole superhero team, even though he doesn't have any powers. And so I thought that was a really cool idea for a protagonist, especially considering the type of villain we have, which is this parasite that's kind of starting to take over the world. Next here you can see me doing the line art for the twins, Sandra and Jaylee. Their superhero names are Jet and Blur, and that's because their superpower is super speed. This is Dr. Tyson Hawthorne. He doesn't normally go out with the other superheroes, but he was there when Tess was first infected. He got infected, and he has telekinesis powers. This is Jason, Alex's older brother. His superhero name is Bash, and as you might have guessed, he has super strength and some invulnerability. He can't fly, he's no Superman, but he's just about as strong. He's the cool guy of the group, throwing around cars and walking away from explosions. And this is Ilya. Her codename is Barrier, and as you might have guessed from that, she can make force fields. She's kind of the one that kind of stays with the other superheroes and keeps them safe, especially the ones like the twins and Alex, since they don't have the sort of protection that the other superheroes do. And so she kind of protects all the rest of them as they go in and try and get close to these villains. And this is Janice. Her superhero name is Bungie, and as you can see, she's a stretchy superhero, like Mr. Fantastic from Fantastic Four, or Elastigirl from The Incredibles. I didn't actually realize until after I made these characters that most of these main characters have superpowers that are very similar to the superpowers that the Parr family from The Incredibles has. I'm a big fan of those movies, but that wasn't intentional. Either way, Janice is the fun one. She takes care of a lot, though not all of the comic relief, and she's a bit of a prankster. Alright, so the story of this revolves around Alex. Basically, when he graduates high school, he kind of doesn't want to know what to do with his life. He gets rejected by the school he wants to go to. But he's always kind of wanted to work in a lab. He's really good at, engineering things, building things. And so basically he finds out there was an accident at Synergy Labs, where Dr. Hawthorne is kind of the head researcher. And basically he finds out about it, and he finds out that a lot of people are quitting over it because it's kind of a controversial moment. And he kind of realizes, well, hey, I haven't been able to get jobs, I haven't been able to get into schools. Maybe I should just apply there and see if I get accepted. And basically it gets him right involved in there just as the infection test starts to go out and attack things. In fact, one of the first people infected is Jason, his brother, who was just kind of there to see him while he was just doing his job one day. And basically what happens is after the infection gets really big and people start tearing up the town, like Jason, who gets infected, he finds out about a meteorite that was used to create this infection test, and he uses a part of it to make himself basically invulnerable to these abilities, and he finds out he's able to neutralize them. So he goes through and neutralizes all of his friends who have been infected, and that's kind of how the team comes together in the first place. And these are the twins. They are actually international students at the local fictional university, Black Mountain University. They're from the country Guatemala. I chose Guatemala specifically because I've actually been there. I lived there for 2 years, and I thought it would be fun to have them speak Spanish to each other every once in a while, and use some of the local phrases and jargon that the Guatemalan people use. Sandra Jet is the edgier one. She does track and field and plays the bass guitar, and it's actually an athletic scholarship that got her and her sister accepted at Black Mountain University. And then we have Jaylee, or Blur. She's the pretty pink one who does gymnastics. She likes girlier things that are pretty and pink, and I know it's a bit stereotypical to have a pink girl power superhero, but I thought it would be fun to have her foil her sister a bit. I wasn't sure while drawing this. Do you think it's a little too much to put flowers on her superhero costume? I know it doesn't have anything to do with her powers. Anyway, the twins get involved in the whole situation because Ilya, who's one of the lab assistants, is their roommate, and Jason has been trying to date Jamie before the story starts. Dr. Hawthorne, he is the one who actually created Test in the first place. He didn't actually want to be, but it was some of the lab assistants at Synergy Labs that found the meteorite that they used to make Test in the first place, so they kind of forced him into it. And so he's basically dedicated his life to getting rid of Test. Jason, like I said, is Alex's older brother. He's the tough guy who likes to be in charge and to lead the team. He doesn't understand most of the engineering and testing they do while trying to figure out why Test and the meteorite do the things they do. He's just there to throw heavy things and walk away from explosions. He really likes Jamie, and he's always trying to impress her, even though he really does want to help the team and protect people from the infection. And Ilya, she was there when Test was first created. She saw it come to life, though she didn't really understand what was going on when it happened. This is the same accident that made a lot of employees quit just before Alex got his job there. And though she decided to stay at Synergy, the accident still haunts her a bit. While Alex likes to make gadgets and engineer ways to fight Test, she likes to study the actual infection and wants to find out why it acts the way it does. And next, Janice, she actually got involved in the whole situation because her sister is the owner of the parkour and gymnastics gym where Sandra and Jaylee like to work out. And so she knew them pretty well, and so when the whole thing started happening and she found out they'd been infected, she went and tried to help Alex, who she knew from high school. And she ended up getting infected as well, and so that's where she got her stretchy powers from. She likes to encourage Alex a lot. She knows that he's not very confident in himself, but she really likes to try and help him and encourage him. And she's actually one of the people that encouraged him to apply at Synergy in the first place. And so yeah, those are the superheroes that I've been creating. They all have basically this really cool origin story that I want to make as a comic, but after all of the kind of origin things happen, which honestly I think I can make like 3 different comics all about the different things that happen as they're kind of starting out and finding out about this compound test and figuring out how to eradicate it. Basically their adventures boil down to them searching around for this infection, people that have been infected, and trying to cure them and save them from this mind-controlling parasite. And so that's kind of the whole idea behind the superhero team. They're really fun characters, I think, that I've made to be these superheroes, and I like the powers they have too. I think they're kind of fun. And yeah, that's Neutro. I've actually been watching a lot of James Ray's on YouTube. I think I'll just shout him out. And he's just a really fun guy who does superhero drawings all the time. And that's kind of where I got this whole black background thing from. So if you like it, you should thank him and go check out his videos. He's a really cool YouTuber. And there you have it. That is the Neutro drawing, the first Neutro drawing of hopefully many. Like and subscribe if you want to see more of this stuff. And comment below which characters you want to know more about, because honestly, I love them all. I'll make videos on any of them. And there are even more characters in here that I'd like to do some drawings of. And yeah, there it is. And here's one final kind of close-up shot of it. And thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.